Let's have a look at how we can get started on making this drawing of this steel connection, which is, it's admittedly scribbly. This is like maybe your boss in the office would scribble this out on paper and say, here, go draw one of these details. So, looking at our PowerPoint that I put together for you, we're going to start with that wide flange 18 by 76 that's in the middle. And looking at the dimensions in the table, it's 18.21 high and it's got a 0.680 flange. Okay. So I will get a line. I'll just draw some line here. I don't know how long. And I will use the offset command. What is it? 18 by 18.21 high. Okay. Offset. Distance is 18.21. Oops. Select object. All right. And the width is 11.035. So I'll draw one line here, and I will offset it 11.035. Select object. All right, there's where my beam will be. And the flanges are 0.680 thick. All right. So offset again. I like to type O for offset. What was it? 0.680. Okay. Offset. Oops, I better start again. 0.680. I don't need the O because it's 0. Select object. Go down. Select object. Go up. Okay. Now I need that web in the middle. And it's 0.425 thick, but it's in the middle. So here's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to trim up my line so that I've got the right size flanges here. So there's my trim command. Select objects. Well, I'll just enter to select all. Trim. I'm going to do a right crossing window to trim them all at once. Okay. Now, do I have my midpoint O snap turned on? Yes, I do. Good job. So I want a web that's 0.425 thick. That means I want to go, if I want to go half that distance on each side of the center line, I'm going to offset 0.2125 in each direction. So I will make a temporary center line here from the midpoint to the midpoint, and I will offset a distance of 0.2125. That's half of my web thickness. Offset once this side. Ooh, I'd better zoom in. And once on this side. Okay, yay! So now I can do some trimming, and I'm going to put those radii in there to make it look cool. So more trimming. I will just enter to select all, and I will trim out that box there. And I will trim out those and the little flangey part in the middle. Oops, and trim out those and the flangey part in the middle. Hello. All right. There's my thing. Now I'm going to put a 1/4 inch radius in each corner. So I'll use the fillet command, or F for fillet. It doesn't know what the radius is, so first I need to type R for radius, or click that word. R, enter, and my radius is going to be 0.25. Now I can select first object and hello and second object. I'll hit enter to bring that command up again. Click those two, enter to bring the command up again, enter. Okay, good. So there's my front view of my thing. Maybe I want to, let me go back here, where are we? I want to do my top view while I'm here. Might as well. Or will that be confusing? I hope not. What I just want to do here is temporarily run some lines from my edges of my flange and from the inside of my web. So that's where my top view is going to be, somewhere up here. Okay, well, that's probably good enough for now. Now, let's look up this big beam that's plugging into the side of the thing. That's a wide flange 18 by 97, so that's a bigger one. And if we look at the sizes here on that guy, that is 18.59 high, and it's going to be flush with the top of our middle girder here. If I may, I don't want to get us confused with our construction lines here, so if you don't mind, I'm going to put a temporary line here. I'm going to trim, enter, these construction lines out of here just to get them out of the way of our front view. Okay, now let's zoom in on our front view, and we want our beam over here to be flush with the top, so I'll just start my line right there. This thing is 18.59 high, or deep, so I'll do an offset command, offset 18.59, enter, offset, offset. Notice how this is going to be a little bit deeper, so it's going to stick down below my flange here. And it's got a flange that's 0.870 thick. All right, oops, didn't mean to do that. So offset again, 0.87, I don't need the 0. Offset this line down, offset this line up. I'll come back later and figure out how to make that cope in there. Now maybe I could go up to the top view and put in the top view of my thingy here. So it's got a flange that is 11.145 thick. Did I put that number in there? Well, I didn't. So that flange is 11.145 across. So up here, I will just draw some line for the start of my flange. I guess I'll stop there. Then I'll offset 11.145, enter. Now I need to get the web in there. I'm looking at the top view of a beam up here. So just like this beam here had a flange and a web, this one that's plugging into it has a flange and a web, but we're going to go look at the top view of that flange and web. And again, I think I'm going to temporarily make a line across the end here so that, watch how clever I am, so that I can make a line from the midpoint, that's the center of my beam thingy, so that now I want to make a web that's 0.535 thick. What is half of that? Oh dear. 0.535, I need my calculator. 0.535 divided by 2 is 0.2675. Okay. Offset 0.2675 up this way and down this way. Hooray! There's my flange. It's going to stop somewhere in here. We are not sure where. For right now, just to be cool, I think I will trim my flange in my top view so I don't get mixed up. Trim, or TR for trim, and I'm going to use the inside of this web here as my cutter. So I'll select that, enter, and now I can select the edges of my web to trim. All right. By the way, I took the liberty of putting close-up views of these steel tables in this drawing in case we need them. That's what those things are. Okay, and now what are we doing? Now we're going to look up the small beam that plugs in on the other side. This is a wide flange 18 by 60. So here are the sizes in the table. 18 by 60. And this says it is 18.24 high or deep. So I will do, come in a little bit closer. I will make a line. This also has to be flush with the girder. So I'm going to start a line here. Just go across here a ways. And O for offset. What was it? 18.24? Yeah. 18.24 is the distance. Select line, go down. And that flange is 0.695 thick. All right. O for offset, 0.695, enter. I'll offset from here down and from the bottom up. Notice that where these two beams connect to this girder, they're flush on top, and I'm going to trim that back later, but they're not the same on the bottom because they're different beams. Okay, now I think I would like to put in the top view of this thing. It's got a flange that's 7.555 wide. Here's where I'm feeling good that I left my center line in, because I need this guy to be, centered around the center line. What is half of 7.555? 7.555 divided by 2 is 3.778. Okay, rounding off. 3.7775, be precise. So I'm going to offset 3.7775 up that direction, up that direction there. Look, that looks different. And I'll trim. Okay, there are my two things. Now I'll come back later and start drawing some angle iron in the next video.